Matt?
Great.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question for you? So, yes, Doug, if you received anything from them, should we expect anything from them?
Well, that's a good question. Have we received a grant request from Meals on Wheels?
I don't believe we have.
The deadline is passed?
That's a shame.
I'll have to check. I don't know if it's in there or not. I need to go, you wanna go check? You know what, let me go do it because you're keep track. You guys can move on. Okay.
What was the advertised deadline?
Yesterday.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you, Doug. Chaussee's Place? Oh, no, no. You better run. You better start running.
Thanks, Toby.
So good evening. I'm Toby Stark with Chaussee's Place. It's nice to see you all again. And as the others in the room has done, I want to thank you very much for your past support. And what I'd like to do in my 3 minutes is I would like to share with you how your $7,000 contribution to Chaussee's Place has so positively impacted our community. Our child sexual abuse and youth suicide prevention programs are growing exponentially. And that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. That means more children and more adults are receiving our messages of how to prevent child sexual abuse. I'm going to throw a lot of numbers your way, which I hate to do, but I think they're very important numbers for you to hear. Our first program, which is the Smart Steps, a body safety program for children. You may recall we go into elementary schools and we teach children their bodies belong to them. They have the right to say no to unwanted touches, tell a trusted adult, and abuse is never their fault. This school year, we reached 16,047 elementary school students throughout Hamilton County and surrounding counties. That represents a 50% increase over the previous school year. We ask every guidance counselor and every teacher, we survey them, and we ask them a variety of questions. One of them is, are they satisfied with the quality of the program and the presentations? 100% said yes. We also asked them how likely they would be to recommend the program. 96.6% said extremely likely or very likely. So that is our child sexual abuse prevention program for children. We also have Stewards of Children, which is a child sexual abuse prevention program for adults. It's for parents and any adult who works with children, and I will continue inviting all three of you to our training through the year. Hopefully we'll have you attend one. In just 4 years since Chaussee's Place staff became authorized facilitators in Stewards of Children, we've trained nearly 2,000 adults. So far, in 2013, we trained 625, and so far we've trained 536. So if we stay on track, we're going to see a nearly 58% increase. We see 97% of the participants reporting an increase of knowledge, 99.79 say they would recommend it, and they rate the facilitator at 4.95 out of 5. So I want to share with you the quality of the program and that it's truly making a difference. Our Lifelines Youth Suicide Prevention Program, we've just started working with Sheridan and Westfield Washington schools. So when I come before you next year, I'll be able to share with you more specifics on the impact that program is having. So I know you're getting many requests tonight, but on behalf of the Chaussee's Place staff, the board of directors, the volunteers, and every single person who participates in our program, thank you for your past support and your consideration for 2015. Thank you.
Toby, you're seeing an increase in abuse of children?
Well, we are 100% prevention. And so what we're doing out there are the prevention programs for children and adults. So when we see an increase in numbers, it's a wonderful thing. That means people are attending our prevention programs, more people are becoming educated on the problem, the epidemic, and what we can all do as individuals, all the way from our elementary school students being empowered to adults.
people, I overheard a conversation at church, and they said, somebody said, I've got to go do my training at Chauncey. They're working in the children's center. Is that something you do a lot? Like churches send
Yes.
people to you so that they can do daycares and that kind
Yes,
of thing?
we're very proactive. Really, if you look around the country at other authorized facilitators, we do things a little differently. The first thing we do is we offer a training to the community, anyone in the community, every month in a different city in Hamilton County. We rotate every month, and that's just open to anyone. But then private organizations bring us in, youth-serving organizations bring us in. We do a lot of daycares. We've trained all the teachers, every single teacher in the Sheridan School District. Carmel Clay Parks and Rec has now made it mandatory for their whole staff. So yes, that's exactly what we do. Can I answer any other questions you have?
And you're requesting,
Once again, $7,000.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys very much.
What'd you find out, Doug?
I received her mid-year report on June 12th through an email, and I haven't, and it just says that we are very, very grateful to have this continued support by Clay Township Trustee and Board. So I have nothing other than that.
We'll talk more about that later. Carmel Community Players.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Chris Asaturo, and I'm representing Carmel Community Players. Carmel Community Players has been the continuously operating local theater group since 1993 and has survived and thrived in our playhouse at Clay Terrace. And on behalf of the Board of Directors and our countless actors and crew and audiences, I want to thank you for your past support. And this year, we're requesting $5,000 to fund our program of preview performances for senior audiences. And what we've done, we've had 400 to 500 seniors over the past year who actively look forward to our performances, whether it's a great chance to get out on a beautiful summer weather, like we'll be coming up on July 17th for our next session, or especially this winter when it was cold and dark and awful, and they braved the buses and the snow to come in and get out for an evening. The grant money provides refreshments for the seniors, and it pays for the rights for an additional performance. And then we've also used it for theater improvements, especially the sound system, which has been since we started this 2 years ago to now, there's been a definite improvement because the seniors especially would have more problems with sound systems, so the improved sound has helped them quite a bit to enjoy their evenings at the theater. Plus, it enhances the theater experience for everybody who can enjoy Carmel Community Players. So this year, we're asking for $5,000 to fund our preview performance programs, and we've also found that the performances have given a lot of young people in the area a chance to showcase their talents and develop themselves as actors or crew people. So we're serving two ends of the spectrum as far as our community. So thank you very much for your support. We're looking forward to hopefully working with you again. And are there any questions?
The 400 to 500 seniors, are they all in Clay Township, or are they coming from all over?
It's probably about 50% Clay Township and for about 100% Hamilton County for the others.
Are you receiving money from other parts of Hamilton County to help you?
We did receive a grant from City of Carmel last year for the first time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Doctor.
you.
Thank you very much. Booth Tarkington.
Excuse me. Catherine Dixon, I'm Director of Development. I'm here to speak on behalf of Booth Tarkington Civic Theater. We, as of today, we're starting the fiscal year of our 100th season of continuous operations in Central Indiana. We're now in our third year of residence in Clay Township at the Center for the Performing Arts. And, excuse me, currently our patrons are made up primarily, well, they're all Hoosiers primarily, but about 40% are Hamilton County residents, and about 20% of the total, so half of that, are Clay Township residents. We've seen about our actors, which are about 300 per year. Then we have volunteer actors. Half of those are Carmel residents. But I'm here to talk to you about our 2015 outreach programs, which are going to serve from the young and both ends of the spectrum, both preschoolers and seniors. We're continuing our Sneak View program, which we're projecting will serve approximately 300 Clay Township residents. We provide them advanced reservation dates to ensure that all of their reservation requests are honored for our Sneak View, which is very similar to the Carmel Community Players program. We've also realized a need for theater access for seniors who are homebound, who are not able to leave their homes. So we've expanded our initiatives to go into the senior homes. We can serve about 100 people per home when we go to do a performance. We have performances set for 2014 with both Manor Care at Summer Trace that actually happened in March, and then we're going to the Stratford in July. We're reaching out to the Barrington currently, haven't heard back on a confirmation for that, but we're expanding into additional nursing homes in Clay Township with your support. The big need we have for that is a portable PA system. We want to be able to take the professional theater experience to those who are unable to travel to the theater. It runs about $11,000, and we have some requests out to other organizations, including Central Indiana Senior Fund, to help with that. So in addition to those senior programs, we serve youth. We have a preschool program called Backstage Pass, and it allows preschoolers 4 and 5-year-olds to come for an interactive hands-on tour of the Tarkington and support areas, including the dressing rooms. They get to see and touch some costumes and find their seat in the theater, so they're using their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and they buy a ticket at the box office. We're projecting to serve 75 preschoolers through the year, and all Clay Township residents through your support are provided for free. We give them that service for free. We have partners at Abacus of Carmel, as well as the United Methodist Church right across the street from us. So the other thing we are working on is a youth program called Perfect Harmony, which partners our Act One performance troupe. These are the same kids that go to the nursing homes with Special Olympics athletes, and we serve about 15 Clay Township residents, youth. It's anti-bullying. So.
Okay.
Any questions?
What is your amount that you're requesting?
Oh, I apologize. We're requesting $5,000, which would serve a total of just over 915 Clay Township residents, which is about $550 per person.
Matt? Thank you, Catherine, very much.
Thank you.
Gleaners Food Bank. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Kristen Grills. I'm the Grants Development Coordinator for Gleaners Food Bank of Indiana, and I am just a little bit older than our friend that was up here. I'm at my 60-day mark, so I'm here to thank you for your support of our Backsacks Weekend Food for Kids program. Last year, the trustees helped us serve about 74 children in Clay and Carmel and Clay Township. Excuse me. This is our little trusty backsack here. That provides a weekend worth of food for K through 6 graders. It's enough shelf-stable, nutritious food to help them through the weekend. These are mostly free and reduced program children who go home for the weekend and don't have enough food to get them through the weekend. They come back to school hungry, scavenging for food, agitated, unable to concentrate. It costs about $200 each year to provide a weekend sack of food for the children for all 36 weeks of the school year, about $425 a weekend. Last year, About 254 Hamilton County children participated in the program, 74 of them from Clay Township schools. Roughly 40 of them were supported by the trustees, so we'd like to thank you for that. Nearly 12,000 children in Hamilton County are food insecure, which means they don't have enough healthy food to get them through school, to be able to concentrate, to be able to excel. Once they participate in our program, we see about a 70% increase in I-STEP scores, in school attendance, in behavior modifications, so that they are actually benefiting from the program. We're asking for a grant of $8,000 from the Clay Township trustees to support 40 of those children for the coming school year. The funds from last year, we're about halfway through those. We received them for second semester. We'll continue to use those for first semester this year, and then in hopes that we'll be able to continue that program in the coming year. Do you have any questions?
I do. I was wondering, what if there are other children in the house? One child comes in with food and the others are scrambling. Is there any program that helps provide that food too?
There are. We work with the schools. Each of the schools is no cost to them. The faculty and the staff are trained to recognize signs of chronic hunger in the children. And then that coordinator for that site is a volunteer position. They will work with the family. They can only support K through 6th grade with this program. We also have school-based pantry programs for the older kids. We do have them in a couple of the surrounding schools in the area. Sheridan is one of our newer programs. And then we can also refer families to our mobile pantry. We have about 1,500 families are served each time a mobile pantry moves into the Hamilton County area. We promote those. For, I think, once a month, we're serving at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds. So we're just polling the participants that come to that and see where the need is so that we can reach out to them better. So we're really using the schools to help guide us into who has the greatest need. Anything else?
Yeah.
Why are only 3 Carmel schools participating?
Those are the schools that were identified as the greatest need in the area. There are 9 in Hamilton County that are participating.
Why such a difference? I mean, I'm just curious, why does Orchard Park have so many more? Is it just their demographic?
It is. It's greatly dependent on the free and reduced lunch rate. And we have a waiting list of schools in order of need that we can get to based on the funds that we have to work with the school and the school's willingness to participate in the program as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Kristen. School exchange program. Thank you. Thank you.
Members of the board, my name is Craig Spade, and I'm here tonight representing the Carmel Clay Junior Senior High School Exchange Program. And my wife, Marcia, and I have been involved in the program now since about 1998. My wife's been coordinator, took over from Barb Mosier, who was one of the founders of the program. And it's hard to believe, but a week from tonight, we have a group of students who will be getting on an airplane and traveling about 6,643 miles. And some of those students on an airplane are going to make it with the generosity that you've been able to provide with our needs-based scholarship program last year. You know, this program is something that started really back in 1987, Charlie? And you know, a few members whose names keep coming up in the community, like Bruce Breeden and Charlie and Barb Mosier. And they started this program, planted the little seed, and it's blossomed into things like the Sister City program. And it's certainly affected, I've counted now over 4,000 students, families, teachers, over the last 26, 27 years. And it's something that until you've participated, I think you mentioned your experience with the program, and I think the most amazing thing is how short of a period of time it takes to create a bond. And these students that are leaving next week have no idea what they're in for. And a lot of them will come back very changed. To that extent, we still have students that are going out today as adults who now live in Japan, work in Japan, teach in Japan. Some have gone on to international studies and work in other countries. And a lot of them stay right here in Carmel, enriching our community and participating in the arts and all the different things that make this community rich. So because of this catalyst, I think it's really important that we continue supporting. With this money, next year we'll be hosting again in March, and we do plan on having our community event, which is always the highlight of the program every year when we do our survey. And that will be our first focus if we are lucky enough to receive a continuing grant, and then the balance will be used to continue the program for our needs-based scholarship program, which has, again, touched many lives over the years. I do thank you for your support, and thank you for your consideration.
And you're asking for?
$5,000.
Thank you.
Questions for Craig? Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Am I correct that the ambassador program is not requesting this year?
I think that was just a one-year deal.
Okay. Alternatives Incorporated of Madison County. Thank you.
Hi, Mary Jo Lee, and I'm the CEO of Alternatives. I know last year was our first year requesting funding from you, and we're very grateful that you recognized the service we provide. I know that ours is not a name that's real well known in the community, and it's not necessarily known in lots of communities because we do our work a little bit quietly, and but we have been since January of 1981 when we opened the doors of our original shelter. We have been the provider of emergency shelter for families experiencing domestic violence here in Hamilton County. As I've shared with you in some of the literature, there's 29 domestic violence shelters in the state of Indiana, and we are actually assigned the counties that we provide shelter for. And we are the provider for Hamilton, Hancock, Henry, Madison, Tipton, and the overflow shelter for Marion County. The first 5 we're the primary provider for. And so I know it's, as I said, we're not exactly real well known. You don't see us a whole lot, but believe me, we're there and taking good care of your families. One of the things before, so I don't forget to do that, I really want to invite you to come over and visit. Sometimes people are surprised that we invite you to visit the shelter, but there's nothing quite like seeing our facility. I think that movies and television shows portray a shelter so many times as a dark and dreary place. We have an incredibly beautiful facility that we were fortunate enough to build new in and moved in October of 2005. And we're on the campus of Community Hospital in Anderson. They invited us to bring the program there. But I'm very serious if you'd like to come and visit, because there truly is nothing quite like seeing, the facility. We've asked you this year for $7,500, and the majority of that will help provide the shelter. Shelter's a very expensive program. I really admire all the work of the prevention providers, because if we could really stop families from hurting each other, that's what we'd like to see happen. I'd like to see all families be able to stay together. Next week, my husband and I are going to celebrate 49 years of marriage, and I wish we could say that every family would be able to do that. but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. Hamilton County is our second highest county of population that we serve in this shelter, and actually Carmel and Clay Township are right there with Noblesville as being two of the higher communities that we shelter from Hamilton County. And I know a lot of people think that it's about, I know that the three of you, and I know that Doug knows different. It's not about income. It's not about race, not about social status, culture, or any of that. Domestic violence happens at, all levels of income. It's in all communities, and unfortunately, it's something that can be very destructive in a community. And you've seen that here. There's no community that's immune. So thank you for the support last year, and for allowing me to even ask you for some support again this year. So I will accept questions.
You say you're unknown mostly due to the fact that it's not something you advertise? I mean, it's...
Yeah, a lot of, the police officers know us. We do, Trinity Free Clinic, it was nice to see. I had not met their new director yet. Their former director and I have been friends for years and years. We're there a couple evenings a month and we've trained their staff to help identify, recognize domestic violence. So there's the providers, a lot of the providers. Prevail is our sister program. We work extensively with Prevail. So there's people that do know us, but, it's not something that I think that you hear of a lot. And not necessarily know our staff. We do exist, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Congratulations, 49 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's managed to put up with me for that long.
And I suppose vice
Well
versa.
said.
Well, I think I'm the more difficult one, so.
No.
Hey, I'm sorry, real quick. On here, I just see P.O. boxes. What?
Here's there's even an address in Fishers. Is that
Do you
your-
want, that's our office that we just recently, I know Doug knows we were working to open just an office. Let me give you the address. It's 1309 Monticello Drive, and that's in Anderson. The zip is 46012, and that is on Communities campus. So take me up on it. There isn't anybody that has not been there to see us that doesn't leave just extremely impressed with the various services and the beautiful home that we're able to offer to the families that come to live with us. For many of them, especially the children, it's sad to say, but our shelter is the best home that they've ever experienced. But it's really true. And that's a sad statement to make. I understand that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. NAMI of Indianapolis. Hello. Okay, that's fine. Take that.
Thank you.
Do you have one? Do you have one of these?
Doug?
No.
Why don't you give one of those to Doug, and the three of us will share this. Thank you.
Well, you can look at it and just give me afterwards. That's fine. Yeah, you guys can, go ahead.
No, give it
just
to him.
to me
Yeah,
later.
yeah, right.
You're down to 30 seconds.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good evening. My name is Lynette Lewis, and I am the operations manager for NAMI, which is actually NAMI.